Friday. If it's Friday, well, you know what's what. It's all about the trend. And at 8 p.m., it's all about TTTT. My name is Amina Abdurrabah. Thank you so much for keeping time. Thank you so much for watching NTV the entire day throughout the week. We appreciate you for choosing NTV to turn on your world. All right, so now my panelists are in at the building. We're going to say wagwan to them in a bit, but right now let's take a look at all of the stories that trended this week. Now this one, the internet, yani it just never forgets. KOT proves how Honorable Isaac Mwaura was just not right. Well, apparently you'll be required to go for a certificate in order to operate a WhatsApp group. Things are getting so thick. Hey.
Nasikia nimetembea huko na mtu anaitwa watch doggy sniff dog. Simunifu dog. Ni mtu moja kama Michael Jackson.
I feel like he does these things intentionally. Anyway, now the new content provider for KOT, he's back with another hit. Stick around to hear what the panel has to say about Pastor Nganga.
Here on the ground, it's a very unfortunate incident that happened here. If at all, the residents, as they claim, some of them saying that they had raised some of these concerns, but fell on deaf ears. Then it means that
an extremely sad week here in the country as 8 kids die after a building collapses due to poor workmanship. All right, well, I can't talk about all of those stories by myself. We've got these 3 very qualified, educated, intelligent, loyal, you smart, but also
he appreciates this.
What happened to mine?
I said educated. I was looking at you. I was like intelligent, educated.
You said loyal, educated, and then you said broke. You just broke my heart.
But don't take the compliment.
Do you know what's so funny is that it's actually true. That's why
I'm not here because of how rich I am.
That is also true. That's why we are working right here. But anyway, so good to have you guys. Hi.
Good to see you.
Mimi ndo ngapi nini kuomba. Mimi naona kama mwalimu nanga ku worship definitely ibambi kama huku place ya Pastor Nganga.
I know, right?
It's like a movie. It's like you don't know what's going to happen. But before we even start talking about Pastor Nganga, there's someone who needs prayers. Maybe we should go see Pastor Nganga. Have you seen Cindy's phone? Abu just
Aki, I'm looking from Changos, you guys.
Yeah.
What? Logo. We need to see it nicely.
Imagine.
Just
Silly, I hope your
Aki
phone.
Changos,
How?
please.
We won't even mention that. Why won't
Why?
even mention it?
hide it.
Embarrassed.
We don't want to ban.
I don't mean stop. People are
You know,
no. People
All
are
the
switching
phone
off.
companies call me.
No.
Silly, I hope your heart is not
I'll
like
pay you
your
with
phone screen.
exposure.
Okay. Sasa Nano Evangelism CEO, aka Pastor Nganga. This is actually the #1 content provider.
Absolutely.
For what we talk about online, really, truly. Now, he's been on a roll this week. He hit international levels. After, is it Doggy Dog? Dog of the Man. The level of Michael Jackson. After American rapper Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg shared one of his viral online clips, and he decided not to call a press conference. So he dedicated to just see this.
Nasikia nimetembea huko na mtu anaitwa watch doggy sniff dog. Simunifu dog. Ni mtu moja kama Michael Jackson. Nasikia aliweka hiyo akapata comment more than 1 million akatoa. Wewe sniff dog, iba nyimbo zako za kimataifa. Wachana na Nganga. Wakaba wanasemaga ukaa manya. Second Peter. Nasikia nimetembea huko na mtu anaitwa
The segue.
He just moved on.
Yeah.
Like, and
So the Bible says.
Yes. See, we do this thing where we say we're going to do this.
Yes.
We are no longer going to talk about Pastor Nganga. Tumefunga hiyo story.
Sawa mpaka
Ule
wazazi
jamaa
myself ni nini
tunampatia
inaendelea?
airtime sana. Like Nivo. Next story.
No, I feel
Do
like
you-
he
do-
does
do-
it on purpose.
Do you know
So
Pastor
that we
Nganga
can-
makes Snoop Dogg look like the pastor of the two?
Right.
Yeah,
Wow.
really, yeah, it looks like
Snoopy
Snoopy
Dogg, the weed smoking Sniffy Dog.
Yes, I would actually get more gospel from Snoopy Dogg
Oh yeah, he
I
drops
would
a lot
get-
of like gems.
Yeah,
right?
like
knowledge.
I would get a lot of inspiration from Snoop Dogg than
Compared
from
to
Pastor.
Pastor.
I think that cough ni Mungu alikuwa anamnyonga at that point. Ulisikia venye ilikuwa imetoka nikaa na dead.
Hi, but yo, everybody alikuwa na chapa wa mtoi. You saw the clip that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was
kana
nice.
chapa.
And that's the funny thing,
That
when he
was
was
nice.
fined by Communication Authority for exposure,
Right.
exposure,
Yeah.
for actually exposing
Yes.
a lady's
Yes.
breast live on TV. He just talked about it casually.
Yeah.
Watu ati wananipiga faini ya milioni moja. Of course, that's nothing to
That's
him.
nothing to him.
So
I
why are we
just-
spending so much time on
He
him?
should just be given a blackout all over the place. Because I
I
think
think
he's now
personally-
doing it on purpose.
Personally, already told myself Pastor Nganga is like a cuss word. He's not one of those things I will use.
But the guy
I don't
who,
want to speak
oh,
about
I
him.
see what you did
Shikilia
there.
hapa.
It's like a castle. All right, well, let's move it right along. Let's move it right along. Now, this one, you know, I don't know how people do this. I feel like if you're busted online,
Right.
just don't lie. Just take, I don't know, like take some time off. Regroup, call yourself to a meeting. Why did we need to post that picture? Why did we need to lie? Because it's happening more and more. There needs to be like a guideline
Yeah.
as to what you do. Sindio. Now, nominated Senator Isaac Mwaura found himself in the same position. So he was forced to apologize on social media after using a picture belonging to an international media house and claiming that it was his. This is not from Snoopy Dog, Dog Sniffer Dog. Now, this picture posted on his Facebook page had the caption, "I started addressing a political gathering at the age of 4 years. A great TBT in 1986 at Githunguri, Kiambu County." Later, it turned out the picture had been lifted from a German publication.
Wow.
You know, the internet has made the world a global village, right?
Yeah.
Guys? Let's just remember
Yeah.
that we can see these things.
Everything, everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, the other day I was looking at a video where two people are doing like a battle, rap battle. And then one person was spitting rhymes from someone else's song. Like so underground, someone wouldn't know. Then one of the guys who were watching just went to the phone and pulled up the song and
Yeah,
was
the
like,
lyrics.
yeah, you see, these lyrics are not yours. That is what the world has gotten to.
Right.
And Isaac Mwaura, the senator, should have known that. And it doesn't help that he is now taking this to the guy who does my IT. Like, yeah, I'm taking the fall for him.
Yeah.
Lakini sometimes they don't work well. Sometimes.
Yeah.
How
I mean,
can the
just
IT
say,
guy get
I-
your TBT picture?
Oh my God, IT guys are. Oh no, maybe the IT guys watching. No offense, but they have a lot of time in their hands.
Do you know that
They
Imacho is
are
an IT geek?
Mimi
They
nimenyamaza.
have a lot of time in their hands. They have high-speed internet. You know, they know all the passwords to get
To
into
everything.
Pornhub and those
And
kinds of things.
Pentagon.
So you're always online.
Wow,
You'll
Cindy,
definitely.
what marketing at prime
No,
time?
I'm not going to couple of
Just say,
I know
guys are
Cindy,
really
why
weird.
it's 7, it's like 8:30.
Yeah.
This is as
Have
prime
Big Brother watching,
as
yeah?
TV time. gets.
IT guys are like the weirdest people ever. And then also the attitude by the what to IT na accounts.
Yeah.
Attitude
Watakai
meaning so
kukuja.
tulipe tu tupatie check. So
moving
you
on.
just come and look at the computer.
And
Lazima
don't you like how
mtandaoni.
IT guys, let's just not talk too much right now, but don't you like how when you ask an IT guy a question,
Yeah.
he proceeds to just show you how
You're just so daft.
you really just, that's what you called me for? And then
Yeah.
he just does this, and then everything starts working again.
Yes.
Like you call them, this thing
You're
has
an
been
idiot.
disturbing me for the last 2 months.
3 months,
Then they
you
come,
do that,
then
they're
they
like,
keep.
they look at you.
There you go.
Then
They
it's
look at you
always
bad
over.
and
Yeah.
For effect.
I mean, see, when you had to call the hair person to come and do something to your hair, you would not have been able to do it.
No,
But
she
you
was
had
not
to
rude
do
about
it.
it.
Your
She
efficiency
was
in
not rude
everything.
about it, though.
Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on. So, kitu mimi nashangaa ni nini?
Yeah.
No, Isaac Mwaura is a friend, is a colleague. Tulikuwa na yeye shule, sawa.
Seriously?
Hakulearn
You're in
from...
school with Isaac Mwaura?
Yes.
Kwani, how old are you?
Very
Hi?
old.
I know your age.
I was like Isaac Mwaura in KU.
He repeated.
No.
Well, you can be there at any age.
You should ask how long I have been in KU. Hiyo ndio itakushtua zaidi.
How long have you been in, wait, how long were you in KU?
So,
No, you're
see, the
not.
thing is,
Yeah,
As
like
long as
Mwaura,
Rafaela was in your
the
head.
thing is,
How
the
many
thing is,
presidents
ngoja,
were in power
mimi nashangaa
in KU?
kwa nini hakulearn from. Unajua kuna mtu alifanya vitu kama hizo
Yeah.
na hajawahi rudi kutoka New York.
Let's take a break. Don't turn our backs on our own. NTV, we're like Liverpool, you never walk alone. No own goals. Yeah, excuse me, sir, exit. We're taking a break. Let's
We don't do that
I told you IT guys are weird.
our MTV people, we're going to be back without Martin, clearly. And welcome back. You're watching TTTT now to a very sad story. Kenyans closed Monday with the disastrous news of the death of 8 pupils from Precious Talent Primary School after the collapse of a wall at the institution. Now, this is very sad on so many levels, you guys. I mean, especially considering that this could have been prevented, number one. The school has since been closed indefinitely. But, you know, I was so surprised. My house help actually has, my domestic manager takes her 5-year-old to the school. Yeah, so
She's all right?
yeah, and yeah, she's fine. She's fine. But she was so extra. So she's the one who, in fact, who gave me the call.
Yeah.
You know, and because she had to rush back, and
Yeah.
it's just, it's really sad. And you know, just all those children.
You know, I mean, what really happens? These things are easier to talk about like news.
Right.
Like you're just talking about them hypothetically. But when you really think about it, that this is you who left for
Your
work in the
child,
morning, and then you left your child going to
Imagine.
school, and then you're now being called at 10 in the morning that a building has collapsed. Accidents are inevitable, but human error,
Yeah.
that we can
It's
avoid.
inexcusable.
Yeah, it's inexcusable.
That is very true.
Because I'm just from a session with my family at Arboretum, and as we were walking in, my child fell, and he hit his face pretty hard. That moment of helplessness between him falling and me realizing he's about to hit the ground,
Yeah.
he's
There's
hit
nothing
the
I
ground,
can do.
he's now screaming, and I
Yeah.
could do nothing about it.
Right.
So I can imagine that parent who, back at home, they can't do anything, they don't know what the situation is, and then they get there, they find that something actually did happen to the child. It's a sad affair, and I
Yeah.
really empathize and sympathize with them.
Yeah,
I don't
that's true.
understand
But
why.
for
Yes, sorry.
those, yes, we unataka kurusha mawe kwa wale watu ambao walijenga hizo.
No, the owner of the school, I don't understand why he's running around scot-free. He has not been arrested. Closing the school is a knee-jerk reaction. That always happens in Kenya.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago when it rained, and then the buildings in Huruma,
Yeah,
when
yeah, started
Evans
going
Kidero was
down.
still
Yes.
governor. Yes, every building was condemned. Now they're still standing.
still standing.
Right now we had CS Magoha going around schools and saying, oh, there's this school that was built, it's on a story high,
Mabati, yeah.
and it even had a basement. It was like, oh, now we're going to demolish all this. Come next week.
Yeah.
Nothing
Nothing
is
is
going to
gonna
happen.
happen.
Because
I
So-
truly it is easier said than done, because even if you look at the resources that those people might have to
Right.
be able to do that, they might not have the resources to build a good school, yes.
Yes.
But then at least there are some things that they should, ndio tunataka watoto waende shule wasome wapate tuwaweke basi chini ya mti, as in,
Yes.
because
And you know-
there are some risks that are just not worth it.
And you know,
But they
Mato,
get away with it.
one of the problems with this country is sometimes we go so deep into a problem that to rectify it, you will have to cause a lot of damage.
This is true.
Yeah.
You were listening to what was happening in Mau Forest.
Right.
They want to evict people from the Mau, but now there are so many schools, so many lives going on in the Mau that it now becomes a problem.
Yeah.
That is
Huge
what is
problem.
happening now, like with the schools. There are so many buildings that need to be brought down, but if you start thinking about how many children will not be able to go to school because of them, now they start drawing back and
But
the
you
business
see,
problems. Yeah.
I think we just keep, you know, we're such a big part of the problem, we never really try to find a solution.
Yeah.
Right.
If you sort of like see where all this stems back from, it all just starts with poverty.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not paid well.
Yes.
My job, you know, I have 5 kids, they all
Yes.
have to go through school, and then I'm paid like 15, 20K. There's this guy who's telling me he'll give me 300K. I've never even seen that kind of money in my life.
Yeah,
And
right.
all I have to do is just sign some document. Do you know what I mean? So why do you need to put me in that position? Let's talk about education,
Yes.
because it's just it's bigger than all of that.
Yeah.
You know, we used to see all these buildings being demolished. Baka people even used to have memes for Sani.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Do you know? And then now we
Yeah.
stop.
Yes.
And then now all of a sudden, oh, now it's back again. Now we have to go and
now we have
Governor
to-
Sonko has fired a couple of people who
Yeah.
are responsible for buildings.
Suspended. They'll be back to work.
Did you hear the engineers talking about that building? Like it was literally being held by pins. Like it was wire
Yeah,
mesh.
it was chicken
ati
wires.
Chicken wire.
Wow.
Like imeshikilia building and kids are.
But how many buildings are like that? Not necessarily schools, but how many
Yeah,
buildings are like
yeah.
that? 7 stories high.
Yeah.
And we're getting into the rainy season, so
yes, you know, just all of us are parents,
yes.
and
Yes,
we
yes,
empathize with all of the parents who lost their children.
Yeah.
To
So
those
sad.
who have their children who were injured and are in hospital, we say, you know, just pole sana to all the lives that we lost. We felt that as a nation, and I think we should feel like we failed those children.
Yeah.
8 children
When
are
we
8
vote
too
in,
many.
Politicians were not qualified, were not good at their jobs. Those are the kind of results that we get, and it could happen anywhere. It could happen at the school that my child goes to and the school that your child goes to, and it's quite unfortunate. Now, as we move on, I understand wase when you're talking na manager WhatsApp, you're talking qualifications idea of my MCA. Now, Safari WhatsApp means on the show tonight, and all of the others are watching from home. Malava MP Moses, so amesema Moses, is it Injendi? I hope I pronounce it right. So now he's sponsoring a bill to Parliament seeking to have administrators of WhatsApp and Facebook groups to be compelled to acquire licenses from the Communications Authority of Kenya. Are you guys ready? Are you ready?
And then I'm admin like 10 was.
These are the kind of people who really annoy me. Like, una as in
Hana kazi.
I'm job ingine.
We told them they should start speaking in Parliament. Lakini
But not like this. I know, not like this.
Okay, labda alikuwa anataka kujulikana, aliona wacha watu waone najaribu kuongea kitu. Sawa. Tumekuona. To pronounce the name because he's not even said it enough times in our life. So Mose, cheza chini mazee. Cheza chini. Because even other than that, there's I think, I'm not sure if it's a bill or even it's even been signed about bloggers having to pay licenses and
that one for
having to, like, it's even now imekwa sasa kabisa sasa. You have to even also you have to register your social media accounts.
You're in film. Is it true that these things that fly, what are they called?
Drones.
Yeah.
Cindy,
Babies.
Oh, sorry. I think tumekimbia sana. Okay, kuna flies, kuna butterflies, kuna bees.
Their name disappeared. My mind is cracked like my phone. So these drones, actually, you need a license.
Yes.
It's for real, for real.
Yes.
Those
Of
ones you do.
course.
But those ones are for security
They
reasons,
really
I guess.
are.
True.
What security?
The one that doesn't
Drones
make
is
sense.
understandable.
But
Drones is
the
understandable,
one that
yeah.
doesn't make sense to me is you need a different license, Kenyatta Avenue, a different license, Moi Avenue.
Serious. So if the drone crosses over.
Wall up, Mato, is it true or not?
That I can't
different
confirm
parts in town.
or deny, but
you need
there could be something like that because
Okay.
kuna watu complain juu ya vitu kaa hizo.
Yeah.
And then there also
That is a
duplication of licenses. Unapata license juu ya Kenya Film Commission, unapata ya KFCB,
Yeah.
ya Kanjo, ya nini. Lakini
Anaanza macho.
alafu sasa uambiwe when you had been on WhatsApp unahitaji license ya WhatsApp ya wewe tunajua yenye una
Ya wedding.
admin. Tunajua kuna P na kuna H mahali.
Forwarded messages na WhatsApp groups za wedding, you guys need to pay. Sawa sawa.
Yes.
I'm off to start another WhatsApp group. You need to pay.
Changieni weddings. That's a later story.
Wedding WhatsApp groups guy.
I know for
Changieni
real.
weddings.
Alafu tukosane, watukane.
Mimi niongeze
Wengine
baby shower.
watoke, wengine
Niongeze baby
waingie.
shower. No, mimi ni baby shower.
It's 2019.
No, ni
Men
kwa sababu
should-
unakuanga na umama mob. We'll be back.
I am gone by the way. Me, I'm not staying here.
We'll be back after these short messages. And welcome back. Mtu hapo Twitter amesema ati Pastor Ng'ang'a anataka tu kuimba ndongi imekulwa, mbili imekulwa na ndongi.
Yaani imekuweza mpaka unaenda na ndogi imekuliwa na mbili. Now that would be news. Ndogi imekuliwa na mbili.
Anyway, but uko Meru, things are funny. Anyway, now listen, if you're familiar with the phrase, actually, let me introduce you to a new one. This is, we have not named this one yet, but breadwinners of in the families of students from Ndakaini Mixed Secondary School in Gatanga in Murang'a County are up in arms after students were sent home to get money for bread. So the parents claim that the admin have imposed 960 bob for bread on top of 800 bob fee without consultation. So sasa mkate ni muhimu.
Mkate ni muhimu sana.
Man should not live on
Kwanza
Kwanza high school. Kwanza wala venye iko. Ili unakatwa deka. Hizo
Yeah.
tunakula madeka.
Yeah.
Alafu unashikanisha half. Unaweka margarine hapo katikati.
Yes.
Unaweka njugu.
Yes.
Unateremsha na uji. Ya TBT.
None of us went to private
I know, right? I know.
We don't know this struggle.
Anyway, Kenya High School, we had sausage.
Unless she means she was high in a Kenyan school.
No, genuinely.
Sorry.
Genuinely, we had boiled eggs, we had sausages, we had enough bread to go around.
Yes,
Let me tell you, when I went to that school, coming from
We had
Kisii and
dessert.
Kawangware. Yani shule.
Yes, Kenda school. We had
Right.
dessert.
Ooh. Okay, we didn't have dessert. You see now there, hatukuwa
Do you
tumefika.
know?
Cake and
You
custard,
get-
there's rice pudding.
You get to understand how there are very different levels to it.
And the
there's
different
Cindy's
problems.
level, there's her level.
Yes, there's
then I
your
think
level,
there's my level,
and
and
what's
there's
your
my
level? What is your level?
Yara.
Alisema yake.
Exactly. Uko sawa.
We used to have bread like once in a week with the butter and sijui nini.
Yeah,
And I used to tell
butter,
guys,
okay.
With
we used to
butter,
eat
butter.
nyama kila siku in school and they were, what? You guys were bougie. Sasa sahii niko hapa anajiuliza what you guys, what do you mean?
Actually, anajiuliza what kwa sababu sasa kulanga nyama kila siku, which is so sad.
Like he ate more meat in high school than like,
We saw
blame the
twice a
government.
week.
Oh gosh, we have to wind up, guys. We
You
have to
put
wind up.
blue band and peanut,
Now,
and then you eat.
Yes.
Okay. I
But
don't know
anyway,
about
true, Amina, those parents are right. They should be consulted before such decisions are made. And yes, you shouldn't. School is about learning. Chakula wende wakulie nyumbani. If the kids are not paying, tell them, then let them bread, full stop.
Let me ask you guys, are you okay
That is
with
something
schools
my
that
dad would
ask
say.
kids to come to school with tissue, with toilet paper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
no, there's no problem.
Shouldn't the school provide its own
No.
toilet paper?
Well, if they're going
You
to
should be
bill
able
it,
to handle your own.
no need to finish.
Surely
School.
it's toilet paper.
No. The school just, there's a bank that said this. We just want your money. That's not the deposit we're looking for. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Mato, Cindy, and of course, Kwach. We're
The
gonna be
super
back.
sub.
We're gonna be back next week, hopefully. But listen, tune in at 10 p.m. Lots of great stuff to be won right here on NTV. My name is Amina Abdi Rabat. Time now for the news. Good evening.